Today we're going to look at climate zones and their characteristics. If you look on the document to the left, this is going to be the activity sheet or document that we'll be using. And the different columns, you have your climate zone: tropical, wet and dry, humid subtropical, Mediterranean, marine west coast, humid continental, subarctic, tundra, ice cap, arid, semi-arid, and highland. We're going to take a look at tropical wet for an example, so you understand how this is going to work. So the things we'll be looking for is location, average temperatures, average precipitation, and then of course we're going to put in a picture of this particular climate zone. Over here to the right is climate types for kids. This is the website we'll be using, and we're at the tropical wet climate. Right here at the very top, or near the top, is where is tropical wet climate usually located. It says tropical wet is only found along the equator and is usually within 25 degrees of the equator. However, not all land along the equator has this climate. Other factors contribute to an area's climate, such as wind patterns. Large areas of tropical wet are found in Brazil, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Indonesia, and the Philippines. We're going to put in this first sentence: tropical wet is usually only found along the equator and is usually within 25 degrees of the equator. Now, we don't have to write the entire sentence, but just the main points. Also, we need to know the countries that have a tropical wet climate, such as Brazil, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Indonesia, and the Philippines. We've put the information about the locations for tropical wet found along the equator and within 25 degrees of the equator. So for location, what I put in is found along the equator and within 25 degrees of the equator. I also put in the countries of Brazil, Indonesia, and the Philippines. I think that's enough for our example. So now we're going to go and take a look at the average temperatures. So here we are. What are the temperatures like in tropical wet climate? Temperatures stay the same throughout most of the year because these areas are found along the equator and receive constant direct sunlight. The average temperature is about 80 degrees or 27 degrees Celsius, as you can see from the line below. The temperature feels hotter because the humidity is usually very high. Humidity is the amount of water in the air. Daytime temperature rarely goes over 93 degrees and nighttime temperatures rarely go below 68 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and we want the average temperature. So the average temperature is about 80 degrees. So we're going to put that in here. All right, next we want average precipitation. We'll look at this question: how much precipitation does tropical wet climate receive? Tropical wet gets its name from the regular rainfall it receives throughout the year. It sometimes rains every day, usually in the morning or early afternoon. The reason it rains so much here is because of the regular warm temperatures which evaporate water and keep the humidity high. Most areas of tropical wet receive over 100 inches of rain per year, although some receive nearly 300 inches per year. So we're going to be just talking about the average here, and it says most areas of tropical wet receive over 100 inches of rain per year. So we're going to go with that number. So I've got 100 inches of rain per year for our example. Finally, we need to get a picture of this particular climate zone. So we go back to our website here, and where it says tropical rainforest, this picture on the right side where I'm pointing at, we're going to copy that picture and then we're going to paste it into the far right column. As you can see, the picture I've used, this tropical rainforest picture, I've got it pasted into the column picture of this climate zone for tropical wet. We have completed all the information that we need for tropical wet. What you'll do now is go back and you go through each of the rest of the climate zones, getting the information and putting it into the boxes, and there you go. That's how you do this assignment.